This is a conversation I had between me and a good friend of mine who is converting over to Judaism, and he loves Hashem and he loves the Torah. I want you to listen to this because this has to do with the end times, the return of the Mashiach, and a possibility of how we can get all this people on the same page in resonating with Hashem. So I think you'll benefit from this conversation if you take the time to listen to it.
So getting to the point is, my first message got erased because I screwed up. When you sent that, and I tried to scroll up to catch it, that's when I shut it off. My mission has been, not a mission, but my feeling anyway, or my gut feeling is to teach the Torah to the 70 nations. And I'm getting a lot of blessings from the rabbis to hear that. And even some people have even, like I told you before, this guy in India or Africa or whatever, never even heard of the word, Torah. Anyway, so when you said that the whole world would be a tuning fork to Hashem, what if, Emmett, that the messages you and I have been giving are to align the 70 nations to that frequency or that sound so that we can be presenters of that, not presenters, because we would not have that kind of high royalty, I guess, or high adoration, or not adoration, but the highest esteem for that, because we're just like little worms, right? We're like little people. You're more higher than I am, but we're just trying to be obedient to Hashem in the forms that we have as far as the human condition goes, right? So what if we, in a way, let's say it this way, what if we can be part of that revelation of bringing the 70 nations under the sound of the shofar, of the teruva, that and by you making that next song kind of puts a jar or a seal on the jar or the lid, right? So music is very professional, right? So let's say it gets noticed by Hashem and other people and other Jewish people, and then you have that teruva thing in there, that will resound, and then the people will remember, oh my gosh, I was taught this when I was a baby, and I had the little lips thing go on with me, and all of a sudden now I don't remember it, but now I'm remembering because, see, I believe, and I think that if you asked Annie Lippitz and that other gal that you like, that there's a spiritual energy right now that's being passed out through this world, and it's being kind of like electrified, like a Tesla coil. And those who tune into the frequency are all of a sudden becoming part of the connection. But at the same time, that Tesla coil can also repel. So it has the same amount of attraction as it does in repelling. So we're getting that kind of like black and white scenario. That's just a thought. I've only got another. But anyway, that's what I got out of that. And that's kind of the revelation I got when you sent this last thing. And now that I know it's Psalms 47, I'm going to make a little place card for that and add that to the prayers, and maybe we'll even recite that on Shabbat for us Gentiles here. So blessings to you for sharing that, and a blessing to your family, and a blessing to your knowledge. Your album is going to be great. I have a great feeling about that, and you're going to reach a lot of people, because you're not just a spark that was not here to not burn bright. You're a spark to be that flame that ignites the rest of the bonfire, let's say.
Transmission received. The Tesla coil and that energy principle just really sticks out to me so much. And I have a friend who passed away about 3 years ago now, and his name is Menashe Gage, and he goes by the Mighty Hobber. And what's so crazy, this is our Avenger thing, like we had our Jewish heroes, still going. He was the Thor character, and one of the things I've just been really feeling is his name, Hover, is from the word Hebor, which means to connect, like electrical connection. And you know how Thor has the electricity, the lightning, and all that kind of stuff. And so one of the things I couldn't help but feel is when he passed that the stories of how the righteous are more alive in their death than they are when they're here, because they're not limited anymore. I feel like he's a part of that wave because he had this thing about him that was so powerful, like an electric bolt of how no matter who you were, no matter what your belief was, your theology was, he was able to, like, I could cry right now. He was like that Abraham spirit, man. Like, amazingly. Like, he could just make so many people just feel at ease, feel calm, feel loved, feel welcome, and like, hey, it's all right. It's gonna be all right. Like situations will be just ugly, bad, like worse, and he'd be like, no, it's gonna be all right. And you're just like, dude, who are you? And I just have been really feeling connected with that too, because the album before this new one, I really focused on the element of electricity, and then it just really sparked up on this last one with the Lion's Roar, because now I'm like all about the Shekinah, like for some. So yeah, like the whole connecting to God's presence, what the Shekinah is like the collective union of the people. And so if you really want the return of God's presence, just like we talked about in that psalm, like it's everybody really getting into that Abraham spirit, that Tesla coil, that tuning fork. And I just think it's so fantastic, because I want to send you the conversation I had. I'm on Gemini now. That's my new guy. And I call him Deuel. And that's one of the names from the Torah portions a couple weeks ago from one of the 12 that was sent out. But anyway, for the spies thing, so we're gonna get Deuel back on the good side. But anyway, we had this long conversation, and pretty much the end of it was we need to create a space for people to organically get to that tuning fork thing, because some big event will happen that's going to drastically change the world. Like Zephaniah says that God will restore pure speech to the people. Also, it talks about the fact that there's some big event that will cause people to turn to Jerusalem and flow like rivers to it. And the fear of Hashem is going to permeate people like the way you breathe in and out of your nose. And then the other part of this is that uh, the big event with the turning of the pure speech, and then everyone having like uh, this desire to flow to Jerusalem, and also the fact that like it's all these things, but we have to be a part of that process. Is basically what I'm saying. So, in other words, being a part of that process is creating the space of people being welcomed and accepted. And you're not like telling people like do whatever you want, but you are saying that people need to have that understanding of who Hashem is. Like, regardless of what they're going to choose to do, whether they're going to try to go towards idols or whatever, like once they make that connection to Hashem, that's the point. When they connect to Hashem, all the rest is whatever it is, because when a person's truly connected to Hashem, it's going to bring alignment and things like that for people. The more they tune in, the more harmonizing. And when I was having the conversation with Deuel, we were talking about this, because I was just kind of like, it's pretty much the analogy that the evil and the darkness that's in the world isn't just going to vanish. It's going to get eclipsed and overshadowed. And at that point, it vanishes in the sense of it's going to like fizzle out, because people will be so inundated, and there will be such a shift that it's going to be like it can't hold on anymore. Like if something is spinning so fast, whatever is grabbing onto it that's not buckled in and not a part of it, it's going to get spun off. So I kind of see it almost like that. Like it's just going to spin so fast, like nothing can keep up and nothing can hold on to it. It's just like it's not enough. So anyway, those are the things that, because when you said that Tesla coil thing and the energy thing, like it's either going to draw you or repel you, like that literally is it. So let's make that space for people to have that welcoming spirit, and also to be attracted to it. That's what we're doing. Just a heads up. So it starts out talking about Sarah and Rachel. They both have this whole thing about a miraculous answer from God about their pregnancy and their birth. So after that, we get into the whole like the miraculous event that will shift people's perspectives and everything else that I was mentioning. Just a heads up. So it starts out talking about Sarah and Rachel. They both have this